Like some women do not identify with that label, and they can find it.
In fact, I'm starting to be uncomfortable about this.
The woke creeps are finally facing major backlash, and they're not taking it well. The right wing is clapping back and asking questions against the woke agenda, and the rainbow people are losing their minds over it.
The mom needs to be able to decide, and I know that's a cop-out to say that, but
should she legally be able to decide a day before birth?
In this clip, Caitlin Bennett is asking a simple question from the colorful woke woman with God knows how many pronouns. Bennett just wants to see how low these pro-choice creeps could go because she knows they don't have any answers. But what the rainbow lady did next left everyone in shock.
yeah. Is this why you record for stupid shit like this? You guys are disgusting.
And now she's going up to the cops, I guess. I don't.
This is how woke liberals lose their shit, when conservatives start asking them questions. And it wasn't even a backlash. Poor Miss Bennett was asking a simple question, and the angry lady called the cops on her. But it's about to get better because one conservative lady actually had the guts to shut these woke insanity up.
That, well, one, we were either born male or female, so I think that as mothers, we celebrate Mother's Day for mothers, and then we celebrate males as for Father's Day. So I think that transgender, or is it gender neutral? I don't know.
The conservative woman suggests that if someone is born a male or a female, they need to celebrate it instead of trying to fight it. But the woke lady standing beside her just can't keep her calm.
They want to turn, go to the other side, and I feel like that we should give her the same respect when she turns over, and if she wants to have a kid, we should celebrate her as a father.
Now this is some real twisted shit right here. The woke woman is trying to convince us that when a woman becomes a trans man, she needs to be called a father. We're going to lose our mind trying to keep up with these woke dramas.
Can you choose your gender?
Clearly.
Well, so I'm old school.
You can?
Yeah, I mean, look at it. I mean, everybody, I'm born a female, and if I wanted to change my gender, I can.
How?
Surgery, all that other extra stuff that they do.
You can't. No.
How?
The woke lady clearly doesn't know what she's talking about, and you're going to see it in a minute. But it's such a treat to see the other woman trying to knock some sense into her and staying firm on her point. The lady knows she's gonna get canceled on the internet, but boy does she talk with courage.
That's because I'm a woman of faith. So, I mean, I'm not going to pass judgment on them, but I'm a woman of faith. So I believe that God created me as woman, so you're a woman, and God created man, and so they are a man.
Finally, someone is shutting up the whole woke crowd by spitting facts. The woman clearly is a believer and ends the entire debate with a simple logic that if you're born a man, you're a man. It's just that simple. Now see how the woke crowd loses their mind on this in the comments? Do you agree with this? Drop a comment and show your support. But all jokes aside, it's almost sad how the woke crowd couldn't even answer the most basic questions when they start getting any backlash. And wait until you see how this woman reacts when a conservative man asked her questions about sexuality.
Identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal.
The man is angry and we are so here for it. He knows that the woke woman will only say absolute BS and knows nothing about the basics, so he absolutely annihilates the woman in his own logic. But the last reaction of this woman is the same as every woke person who faces even a little bit of backlash.
You know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay.
She's over it, yeah. She's over the fact that the man trapped her in her own logic, and she has no comeback for it. This is what every woke person does. They name drop big ideas like trans rights and pro-choice, but they know absolute shit about what they're standing for. And when the woke crowd isn't busy playing the victim card, they're being smacked by the conservative logic and simple facts. Check out how this man destroys Pride Parade and the idea behind it.
What is, I guess, the issue that you have with pride?
The Bible says that God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. So when we are in sin, whatever sin it may be, we shouldn't be proud of it. We shouldn't be parading it. We shouldn't be, in trying to entice others to join you.
The man clearly suggests that being trans isn't something that's permitted in the Bible. And not only are these pride people sinning, they're also promoting it and spreading the word, as if they're distributing sweets. The trans interviewer seems a little offended by this comment, but the man has only started.
Because look how pushy you guys are. Look all the police protection you have. Look how much you influence society. You own the city council. You own the mayor. You got people who are afraid to say he, she. You got them all pronoun stuff.
It's funny how trans people play the victim card when they're actually the ones getting the most support from the government and the internet police. The man is trying to point out that the government never opposes them. No one stops their parades, so they don't really get to play victims here.
Quick, I want to go back to what you mentioned that there's a lot of police protection here, and I'm sure that you're familiar with 2 years ago, the 31 people who came to probably start a fight.
Hey, but the police protection.
The trans person then informs the man why there's so much police protection in the Pride Parade. Now we get it. It's everyone's right to feel safe, but that applies to everyone, not just one particular woke group. The man gives an answer to the trans person that leaves them completely speechless.
I was here before that, before it even happened.
But it was because of stuff like that.
No. It's because you guys have thought. First of all, you infiltrated the campuses. This is a liberal campus.
It's all indoctrination.
Political
elementary schools and public libraries now.
It's almost funny how the rainbow people take charge of everything, make it their own, and still keep pretending like they're the victim. And they need to be saved. But the man did a great job at clapping back and shutting down the woke agenda. And the next woman we're gonna see will definitely make your blood boil. It's almost funny how she tries to bring color into the conversation to defend her pro-choice stance. Right after saying this BS, the woke woman receives major backlash right there from the audiences, and you won't believe how she reacts to this.
I am pro-life because life begins in the womb at conception, and I think that our personhood, our rights should not be based on having to be human plus something else. That's exactly what happened with slavery, where
the black woman makes it clear why she's conservative and not blindly woke. She instantly shuts down the woke agenda, and you won't believe what she said next.
really what abortion is age-based discrimination.
Black people weren't seen as humans.
They weren't seen as human beings.
Black people were not seen as humans.
They were like...
And just when we thought woke people could take some criticism, the woman walks off. She clearly has no comeback. And the right-wing woman is right on money when she says that pro-choice people are simply promoting age discrimination. The woke woman is angry, and that's pretty clear from her expressions. She wants the black woman to play the victim card. This is getting real funny real fast.
A fetus of a dolphin looks the same as a fetus as a human. You literally can't tell them apart because it's not human yet.
The woman is freaking out, almost crying, while she's trying to make us believe that when a kid is in the womb, it's not really human and you could end its life. And she's doing that while trying to still be the victim in the entire conversation. But the black woman takes the cake with her ending remark.
I just want to note that as a black woman and as a person who got my degree in biology, life does begin at conception.
Wow, this lady really is brave to say this out loud in front of a woke crowd that just lost its shit at the response. But brace yourself because the next clip is really going to piss you off.
Having a whole month.
Obviously, I'd love to say that Pride should be everywhere all the time and it shouldn't be dedicated to just a month. The LGBTQ is obviously a huge community that has there's lesbian communities, gay communities, trans communities, non-binary, and to have
This woman thinks that Pride should be celebrated every day and that there should be separate days for gays, lesbians, queers, and all the other pronouns in the list. We're already stuck with an entire month of this insanity, and now they want the entire calendar so our children can't even go out of the house without seeing the rainbows and drags. And a conservative woman really exposed this woman's hypocrisy by pointing out that Pride is almost forced at this point. You'd be surprised to hear what she has to say.
I think it's forced now, where I work. It has man at the end of the company, and now they've changed it to one, just for Pride months. And it's like things like that. There's certain things that were already for everyone, and people are like, because it's Pride month, now it's for everyone, and it's like...
The woman suggests that everyone was having freedom of choice before too, but now it's too on the face, a little too forced. It's almost like people have to participate in this woke nonsense, even if they don't want to. But it's a good sign that not only the people, but some politicians are also pushing back now. Pierre Poilievre is one of the very few politicians who have the courage to call out the woke agenda, and you'd be shocked at how the woke reporter responds to him.
Trans women's fears that they'll be harmed if they're not allowed to use bathrooms appropriate for their gender.
My common sense view is that women's spaces should be preserved for women.
Pierre makes it clear that he's not going to be stuck in the woke mess, and right off the bat says that women's restrooms should only be reserved for women. There's been this debate lately that trans women need to use women's restrooms, but actual women feel unsafe and uncomfortable with their presence, and that's very obvious. So Pierre is only trying to cater to the women's safety concerns, but the woke reporter tries to antagonize him by asking,
You refer to biological men. Do you believe that trans women are women?
I believe that women's spaces should be reserved for women, and that's a common sense approach. For example, we need to have women's sports that are reserved for women because of the biological differences that men and women have. If we didn't have those biological differences, well, then we wouldn't have separate sporting competitions.
Pierre takes these questions extremely well and just points out that there are some differences between men and women that we can't just ignore. There has to be a line on how far we're willing to go in catering to the trans community. This backlash from politicians and the general public might not make a big difference, but it's still a start, and it's a good pushback against the woke agenda. The government and public are too far gone into the rabbit hole of woke conspiracy, but let's try and save ourselves from this mess. Do you think we could stop the woke movement from spreading by spreading awareness and talking publicly about it? Drop a comment below. Also, if you want conservatives to have a say, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and don't ever thank Beyonce.